It's 10-1.
I can admit when somebody's made a mistake, and Joe, sounds like you've owned up to yours, because I don't think you went last night, right? And we won 8-2, yeah.
It's funny, Matt. Last night I didn't watch a single pitch. I never even turned on the TV.
Winner. You did a great job.
Yeah.
Thanks for being a team supporter.
And my weekend schedule is such that I'm going to miss the whole Twin series. So
that's the best news I've heard all month.
Yeah, I suspect we'll be reporting a sweep on Monday morning of the Twins.
Sounds good. I appreciate it and all your efforts that you're making to help me and the rest of my Mariners fans. Now I have one simple request for you. Okay.
Okay.
This year, please stay away from CenturyLink Field.
Oh, no, that's going to be hard.
Yeah.
That's good. I don't think it matters. I don't think any amount, although I don't know.
It's not been proven that he jinxes the Seahawks.
Yeah, no.
I mean, we started out, yesterday, day one, and Percy Harvin's he's hurt. So.
Yeah, now I do live within a couple. I live within a couple miles of there. I don't know if my juju filters down to the VMAC or
Didn't
not,
you buy a Percy Harvin jersey?
I do have a Percy Harvin jersey.
There you go, right there. Kiss of death.
I haven't worn it yet.
Earn that.
Thank you very much, Matt.
Yeah, my biggest fan. I love that guy.
If you've ever thought to yourself what this world needs is a more efficiently designed peanut butter jar, your prayers have been answered. On the show today, we'll tell you about a more efficiently designed peanut butter jar, if there could be such a thing, and there is. News stories today. The Lincoln Memorial was vandalized overnight. We're going to talk about that. Seahawks did open camp. Percy Harvin may need surgery for his hip injury. The Mariners start a new winning streak. You can guess who wrote that headline. And this Spanish train, the driver is being investigated for recklessness. Jody will start off with the news there.
Thank you. Brought to you by State Farm. Yeah, we talked about the Spanish train driver. He was going about 125 miles per hour, and he used to boast on Facebook that he was the fastest driver. This was his thing. So now people are dead, and the driver of the train that derailed on Wednesday in Spain, he is talking to police. He's used to post on Facebook that he was driving trains so fast that if anybody caught him, he would get a fine. His name is Garzon Amo. He's 52. He's now in the hospital under police watch after the crash, which happened to kill 80 passengers. He said on the train's black box recorder after the accident, "We are human. I hope there are no dead because they would fall on my conscience."
Wow. And this is a guy in a position of public trust, responsible for the lives of others, who for a while had boasted on Facebook that he was reckless and no one stopped him.
And furthermore, he has worked for the Spanish Railway for 30 years, and he's been an authorized driver since 2003. This is, there were American passengers on that train. This is an American passenger who's talking about the crash.
Our car flipped over. It became chaos. Things flew and everything. There was sudden darkness, and I was kind of thrown on one side of the train. My wife, unfortunately, she was sitting on the side where the train flipped over, so everything kind of fell on her. She unfortunately got hurt very bad. I mean, her scalp was all like that, flipped over, and she was bleeding out of her mouth and out of her ears. And she was conscious, though. All she wanted was for me to hug her, and that's all I could do. And, of course, screaming out for help to see if they could actually take her in here, because I knew the sooner the better.
Wow.
Wow was right. Case closer to home, George Zimmerman, another juror from the Zimmerman trial, came forward yesterday, started talking. She did an interview with Robin Roberts. Her jury name was B29. B29. Anybody?
Bingo.
B29?
Bingo.
First guy right there. Her name is Maddie. She has strong feelings about the case. This is what she said on ABC World News yesterday.
George Zimmerman got away with murder, but you can't get away from God. And at the end of the day, he's going to have a lot of questions and answers he has to deal with. The law couldn't prove it, but, you know, the world goes in circles.
Thank you, Maddie. Juror B29 says that if it was up to her, she would have put him away.
Oh, my computer just froze. Always.
Well, that's what she said.
What was your first vote? My first vote was second-degree murder. In between the 9 hours, it was hard. A lot of us that wanted to find something bad, something that we could connect to the law. For myself, he's guilty because the evidence shows he's guilty.
He's guilty of
killing Trayvon Martin. But as the law was read to me, if you have no proof that he killed them intentionally, you can't.
And you stand by that decision?
I stand by the decision because of the law. If I stand by the decision because of my heart, he would have been guilty.
To the oil companies, if we're going to stay on the subject of guilt and people admitting it.
Oh, yeah.
Halliburton has agreed to plead guilty of destroying evidence critical to the investigation of the Deepwater Horizon disaster. That's the one in the Gulf that killed 11 people, completely soaked the Gulf of Mexico in oil in 2010. The company ordered workers to erase simulations that led to BP ignoring advice about the construction of the ill-fated deep-sea oil rig.
Yeah.
So they had these simulations of things that could happen.
Wow, that's serious. What's that, about a $75 ticket?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's a slap on the wrist. There's
Is
no
it? Yeah.
Deletions were part of an effort to shift the blame onto BP and away from Halliburton, which, by the way, I don't know if you remember, worked perfectly. Absolutely. BP also pled guilty to criminal charges, and you remember that guy, the British guy. We're sorry.
I can't give him my bed. I'd love to be with my daughters.
So sorry.
Okay.
Halliburton.
By the way, Halliburton is a little bit like that Asiana Airlines.
Yeah.
Like, they were like, well, let's just say we did it because what's going to hurt our reputation?
Yeah, that's amazing that Halliburton can figure out another way to be a bad company after the Iraq War. You thought, that they're probably done with that. Now they're in on this.
After this oil rig de-sheeting, what would you think they would pay as a maximum fine?
For Halliburton?
Yep.
Well, it's in the millions, I'm sure. Is it in the tens of millions? I think it would be in the hundreds of millions.
Boy, you're off by quite a lot, Bob.
Really?
$75, I'm telling you, right?
It is $200,000.
Oh, that's all.
my God.
For 11 people?
Yes, Halliburton will pay the maximum fine of $200,000 for their crime.
Right.
For the crime of covering up the evidence. Now, I do want to note that they also made a totally voluntary $55 million donation to the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation. But that was separate.
Got it.
Totally voluntary. Two separate things.
They're more sorry to the fishes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, they can write that off on their taxes.
Exactly.
That's kind of like them sending the Gulf flowers, right?
Yes, exactly. Here you go. Sorry. Sorry about everything. So Anthony Weiner's personal approval rating fell 20% in the 3 days since he talked about his fancy sexting accounts with young women following his resignation from Congress. The new poll showed him, just plummeting as far as support from both people, popularity, and his party. City Council Speaker Christine Quinn now holds 25% of Democratic support, compared with 16% for Weiner. But in Christine Quinn's camp, she does realize that a paper towel holder with no paper towels on it, like just the cardboard, would also hold 25% at this point. Because everybody likes to look through those like a periscope, you know what I mean? She could be a Cyclops who only says, "Hodor!" And
she'd still have 25.
The next mayor of New York. It could be her.
What was his nickname?
Carlos Danger.
Scott in Auburn, hello.
Hey, I was just curious if Oscar Weiner, whatever that guy's name is, was de-sheeted or something like that.
De-sheeted.
I almost feel like you don't deserve the prize, but we're going to give it to you anyway.
Oscar Weiner.
Or something. The de-sheeting of America, sir. It's a serious thing. You're using less toilet paper than you're buying.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's the word of the day, right?
Yes, honey, you got it.
Yeah, Scott, and you've got a one-day Clipper Vacations orca whale watching and sea life excursion for two. Book your trip today at clippervacations.com.
Okay, so how do I go about getting that now?
Let's talk about that on the air for a month.
Hang on a second. You help him out.
Oh, it's on. It's on.
So if folks listen towards the end of the show, we do the last word of the day. And when Jody uses it in a sentence, or any of us, accidentally even sometimes, use it in a sentence, the next day you win a very big prize. Listen all 4 hours, and you're going to be one of the big prize winners eventually. All right.
Back to Weiner. We're not done yet. And yes, We have gotten a hold of Sydney Leathers, who Joe and I had a little tete-a-tete yesterday. You said her real name was Sydney Leathers, and I said, Joe, don't be dense. Her last name's not really Leathers, but it is. You were right, and I was wrong.
It's her birth name.
It is. She did an interview with Inside Edition, and she's extremely annoying. Want to hear how annoying? This is Sydney talking about her relationship with Anthony Weiner, or whatever his name is, and said that he is perpetually horny.
How would you describe him? I read one quote that suggested you thought he was a dirty old man.
He actually said that about himself to me. The exact wording was that he's an argumentative, perpetually horny, middle-aged man. And at the time, I was like, oh, no, you're not. But yes, he is.
Yes, he is. Now, Sydney Leathers also went on to discuss how she felt, although she was a big fan of politics and totally played 50% in this role, she felt manipulated by Anthony Weiner.
Yeah?
I felt manipulated.
Why?
Because obviously I felt like, he's saying one thing to me, saying another thing to his wife, saying another thing on the campaign trail. I don't know who the real Anthony Weiner is, I guess.
I guess.
You, however, are much easier to figure out, Sydney.
I like how she's playing this. I would do the same thing.
Playing it.
Yeah, it's like when I need air in my tires, I pull into a gas station and I go up to an attendant. I'm like, I'm so dumb, I don't know how to do the air. And then a guy will do it for me.
Right.
And I normally don't play that dumb girl game, but I don't like doing the air in the tires.
That's the reason I do it.
Yeah. Now, having known how these things work, when you play stupid, men will take care of you. It's just a thing. So now she's playing stupid. I've seen her nude pictures. She was part of this too. It's not like she was manipulated into sending, somebody.
I feel manipulated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My lawyer told me to play up the fact that I'm 22 and he's 48.
Yeah.
And he should know better and I'm stupid. So that's what she's doing. Go, girl. She's playing it totally right.
And if there's a reality show producer out there,
yeah,
I obviously would just do whatever you want.
Yeah, totally.
On TV.
One more from Sydney Leathers, and then we can stop talking about her probably forever, on how things ended with Anthony Weiner.
There wasn't really a specific reason why, and neither one of us ever really officially ended it. It just kind of started to fizzle out. He got a little bit controlling with me towards the end. He would tell me that he would be jealous. He would look at my Facebook frequently, and he would tell me that he would get jealous if other men would compliment me, and just little stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It sort of petered out.
I don't know what happened.
All right.
Finally, everybody's talking about football yesterday. We opened up training camps for the Seahawks, a full house. Everybody loved it. Everyone had a great time. Russell Wilson did the wonderful duty of visiting with some young, sick children. What a guy. We are talking about football today. And so across the country, people are as well. A woman posted a video online after she went to the Washington Redskins training camp. And sadly, she was ignored by the players all day, which surprised her. She was waiting there for an autograph, and she's very upset and quite devastated. And this is what her video sounded like.
I just spent all day at the Redskins training camp for nothing. I've been there since 6:30 this morning. It's like 12 o'clock. And all I wanted was an autograph. I couldn't even get that. No players even came to where I was standing. I'm so disappointed in the Redskins right now. I've been a fan my whole life. I didn't even care what player autograph I got. I just wanted one. I took off work for this and everything.
May I borrow a line from you?
Please, by all means.
I like how she's playing this.
Say it now.
Because, when I need something, I usually just walk away bummed out.
Oh, I think this special lady is not playing it at all. I think she's just an insane person who is overly emotional. Want to hear some more about how mad
will it
she
work?
is? Yeah, definitely.
Of course it'll work.
Yeah. Here's how mad she is.
I'm